We first met Moscow Polytech November 2018 when I had the privilege to speak to
Yes,
your students.
yes,
Seen each other in Bulgaria a couple times after that.
yeah, true.
And you are probably one of the most incredible young ladies I know. You're highly accomplished journalist, professor, philosopher. You have you've just done so much. And
Okay.
where did you go to school? What got you interested in professoring in journalism?
um, what got me interested? Mm, I always love reading and writing. So
Mm-hmm.
the idea was never work,
Yeah.
but just connect my hobbies, just connect reading and writing with
Mm-hmm.
my work. So the education was the best idea,
Mm-hmm.
and now I think that it was a correct choice,
Mm-hmm.
a really correct choice. And I graduated from two universities, Moscow State Pedagogical University and Humanitarian University as well, and philological department and department of advertising, and
Mm-hmm.
working as a journalist
Mm-hmm.
also. And then I was invited in Moscow Polytechnic University. It was many years ago, and at that time Moscow Polytechnic University has the other name, but it's not so important, I think. And since that time I am in education and on freelance as a journalist.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you are responsible for educating the students on soft skills, which is a very soft word. It encompasses many things, and I always think of communications, but it's so much more. So, the importance of soft skills and what encompasses soft skills besides just communications?
When we talk about soft skills, we talk about more than 40 generic competencies.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes people think that soft skills are only about communication. It
Mm-hmm.
is about communication,
Mm-hmm.
uh, but not only about communication, about also different kind of thinking.
Mm-hmm.
Creative thinking, critical thinking, logical thinking, analogical thinking, and so on and so forth. It is also about adaptability, stress tolerance, team working in teams, leadership, and so on and so forth. Um, and yes, it is interesting to talk about communication today because presently communication and the context of our communication has changed a lot since 2000s. We have a lot of changes in the communication space.
Mm-hmm.
Our communication are mostly is CMC, computer mediated,
Right.
and do you know how much time a young man spend in social nets? For
Too
example,
too
for
much.
too much. How many hours
On a day,
on a day?
I would say on an average 5 hours a day.
Yes. I conducted a survey, and now today I asked my students to send me information how much time, how much hours they spent yesterday. They spent in social nets,
Mm-hmm.
and different results I got, and I'm still getting the results. Uh, but in average, yes, 3, 4, 5 hours per day in different social nets. And for example, in Instagram, my students spend 4 hours. So, as as we look at the content of Instagram, for example, it's mostly pictures and videos.
Yes.
No, not almost not texts. Hashtags, pictures, and videos. So 3 hours per day, you just scrolling and watching very short video and pictures.
Right.
It is how communication changed, because we prefer very short text. For example, Twitter.
Yes.
With its limited number of amount of symbols.
Correct.
And just compare. I don't know. Long reading is not popular. Long text is not popular.
Oh my gosh, I love long text.
Yeah.
Give me a book.
Yes. But give me a book. It's true, because the communication and the context of communication really changed a lot. And yes, different generation get the information differently. And it is interesting to compare how we work with information, and how our mind and how our mind and the way how we think, how it changed nowadays.
Okay.
So this is the very important moments. Also, as regards soft skills and different kinds of thinking, critical thinking, for example. Today we are surrounded by terabytes of information, and we need to compare facts, to compare information from different resources. It is necessary not to trust any incoming information, because social nets for many young people, for example, are the main resource of information. But social nets posts a lot of fake information.
Right.
Nobody made good fact checking in before publish this information. And critical thinking, logical thinking, analogical thinking. We need to use these to work with this field of terabytes of information today.
Yeah, to be able to filter out the noise.
Yes, yes, and mostly social nets for this is mostly about noise. And it's mainly about entertainment and about noise. And it is also give you the idea that you know a lot. You know everything, but you actually you just get a lot of information, and you are not able to connect this information to make some logical conclusion from these pieces of information. So this way it doesn't work with conclusions, with real what you know.
Yeah, that's yeah, just filtering out all the noise. I just read a very good book. This is not propaganda. And
Robert, you have this like a saint, Robert.
like a saint.
Yeah, you know.
Oh well.
Just okay.
Okay, maybe I'm turning into a saint. Who knows?
Okay.
Oh gosh. Uh, there's a lot of people who would disagree with that.
Okay.
Oh, that was not planned. I see it now.
Yes, you haven't planned this. No, no,
No.
you do this for purpose, or it's obvious. Okay.
Oh, okay. I think my head's supposed to fit in that space. Actually, that's something so I can jot a little note every now and then when I'm thinking. Uh,
Okay.
Now, your students, they tend to work in teams on projects,
Yes.
okay? And
Yes,
then,
in Moscow Polytechnic University, we have project-based education,
hmm
project-based education, and competence-based education. So every semester, every half of the year, they need to show the results of their work.
hmm
For example, if it is web technology, they develop, they create website and the site of their internet shop. And they need different kind of skills to show the results: presentation skills, oral skills, written communication.
hmm
Yes, project, and this was the idea. We started this experiment in our university in 2014, and IT department invited me to organize this soft skills education. We have soft skills department inside IT department.
hmm
And the idea was that we made these different courses that help students to
hmm
work, to show the results of their project. So, so this we work, and the idea was to connect the theory with practice,
hmm And
because
they and
to
you're
connect,
yeah, the
yes,
connect.
the theory
Uh-huh.
theory with
Yes,
practice.
connecting theory and practice.
Yeah.
And so now your students are winning a lot of awards.
Uh, Not all of them, yes, and not all awards, yes, but we do have some awards in different important and international competitions, such as World Skills.
hmm
And yes, and we have some different experimental formats of showing the results. For example, we made this year in November.
hmm
We made a telebridge,
Yeah.
Moscow, Sochi,
hmm
and our students showed the results of their projects to
hmm
our partners from IT industry.
Okay.
And yes, we have some results. It's not only 6 years. Uh, we have been conducting this experiment, but at the same time, we do have some very interesting results.
hmm Yeah. And one other thing I want to touch on. Um, as I said earlier, you're an incredibly accomplished young lady. Um, and if you were talking to a student who wanted to follow in your footsteps, okay, what advice would you give the student?
Advice. My favorite advice is always ask questions.
Your favorite question?
I have five favorite questions, and these questions are why, 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 and why. Yeah. So when you got the result, or when you got the answer on the 5 questions, usually you got the correct answer,
Okay.
the actual answer. And the idea about asking questions that you can ask question what you want in your life
Mm-hmm.
and what you don't want. Ask yourself what you don't want in your life.
Right.
Students always tell me that they want to work in a big in large IT company,
Mm-hmm.
somewhere maybe somewhere abroad, and okay, you want to work in a big in large company, but do you want to work in a team, or you don't want to work in a big team, or you want to work independently? Think
Mm-hmm.
about it. Do you want to work in open space, surrounded by a lot of people? Do you want to work in open space 8 hours per day, every day, or not only 8 hours, maybe 10 hours, maybe till midnight, and so on and so forth? So
Mm-hmm.
ask questions not about what you want. Ask yourself what you don't want, and then you find your own path.
Right.
At the same time, um, asking, many people are afraid of show up of don't ask questions because they are afraid to show that they are incompetent.
Yes.
And it's not possible to know everything. Ask question, and don't afraid to show that you don't know something.
It's incredible. You know, daily I find out what I don't know. Every
The
day.
every day, and my students also uh, teach me
Mm-hmm.
sometimes, uh, because the younger a person, they're more free his mind,
Yes.
and his mind sometimes the mind of a child is more creative than a mind of an adult.
Yeah. So you.
So a small child, a little child can teach you something. Sometimes it can give you an idea.
So that's another great piece of advice. Think like a child.
Yes.
You
Yes,
taught me that.
yeah.
Oh, Miss Alicia, you are absolutely one of my favorite people in the world. Uh, it, it's amazing what you have accomplished. So
Thank you,
thank
Robert.
no, thank you, and hopefully I can get out and speak with your students sometime in the future after all of this is cleared up. After, you know, the world has gone crazy.
Yes, your lecture was very popular.
Hmm.
Your lecture in our Moscow Polytechnic University was very popular, and our students still named you as one of their favorite speakers.
Okay,
Yes,
well then I have to come back.
yes. We are looking forward to see you in Moscow Polytechnic University.
I will absolutely be back. Thank you.
Thank you.
Miss Alicia, you have yourself a wonderful day. Um, Try to get out. Can you get out and walk around any?
Yes. I can. I have a very good park and forest nearby.
Hmm.
Not many people, so it is possible to go there. So every day I do 10,000 steps to.
Yeah, yep. Get out and exercise. Enjoy the fresh air.
Okay. Thank you, Robert.
Thank you. You have a fabulous day. Baka baka.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.